think it's always a wake-up call to all the drivers. You heard Eric change the style of seat that he sits in. He changed his seating position. A lot of that would probably have to do with the way that his pelvis would sit in the other seat. He might have been crouched down too far. The angle of his pelvis is probably too much, or too much arch in his back, or whatever it is. But that's a Hendrick seat. That's a seat like a lot of drivers use. And every driver is different in the way that they are built and make a lot of different styles of seats. So this will be interesting for him.
Did you see him look over and check that? I mean, obviously you can see there's just not much room for that helmet to move side to side, and you can tell he's getting used to it right there, Jeff.
Yeah, I think that you can vouch for this, Clint. This is going to be an interesting session for him because of not being in the car for a couple weeks, but sitting at a different angle and doing the things different at speed is a lot different than the shop.
Heck yeah, your office changed, man. He'll get used to it. 3 or 4 laps. Be a lap. As soon as that thing jumps sideways one time, it's the last thing you're thinking about. You got a new thing to chase. Keeping that car underneath that heat.
On board with Tyler Reddick.
You see Tyler Reddick down on the apron. For me, my preparation in the past, we would not even run the bottom of the racetrack, Clint, because you want to save the tires. It's very enticing to go down and be below the apron, do all those things. But I think if you can be very regimented in how you drive the racetrack and where you put that car is very important. So if you can run higher earlier, it's like this right here. If you can run up high, it's going to save the tires, because down on the bottom and being able to turn the car is just so hard on that right rear tire.
Well, if you tell me you want to be higher in the racetrack, I got your guy, and you're riding along with him right there. Nobody runs higher better than Tyler Reddick.
And you'll see some guys downshift into turn 1 as they get later in the run. Some guys not downshift like Tyler did right there. He comes off of turn 2 right there.
And right back to the wall.
Got to carry a lot of speed off of turn 2, but you got to have that wheel straight when you get to that bump off the exit of 2.
Well, you can see the effect of that. I mean, his body moved an inch or more when he came across that bump at turn 2. We'll see it again.
Yeah, let's stay and watch him run over this bump one more time, and you'll be able to stay focused on him over here and watch as he crosses this bump.
Getting ready to come to it. You got to throttle back up through this section right here.
Boom, there
it pops him up out of the seat. And you ever say on the racetrack right there, it is kind of like a jump. That patch is actually higher than the straightaway asphalt. And with the way that corner has been repaved, it really rips you around the corner, and then it almost launches you out there and shoots you out of that corner on the exit.
And everybody's setup's different. Not everybody's going to ride it. That car rode pretty good over that bump. Some of these things, if they're too low to the ground, it can give you fits and get you in trouble. We saw that last night with Kyle Busch.
Micah McDowell with a throwback paint scheme for his sponsor, Long John Silver's. He has the fastest lap in his practice so far and has a new deal for next year. He will leave Front Row Motorsports.
Man, Long John Silver's, when I was little, that was my favorite.
That was their logo. Look up on the sign.
I got so out of hand, Kevin, I'd ask for extra Crispies. I don't want it. Just give me extra Crispies.
Who pirate?
I've also seen you look like that pirate a few mornings.
Should have seen it before. Also look like that pirate.
Knew what a pirate at middle school on November.
A lot of campers. This is a good
I mean,
tailgate.
August.
Tailgate, have a lot of fun.
I mean, August at Fitness Center 2025. Goodbye to prepare. I mean, Fitness Center August 2025 for all one.
Man. I don't know.
Starting to miss it.
Well, this is just such a great racetrack. You ran good here.
So now, wait a minute. I would say you were preconditioned for this. Didn't you go fitting for a seat this week?
I did.
All right.
Yeah.
You're preconditioned.
I am preconditioned.
You're ready to get back.
You're right.
Patty Potter get a command to start engines tomorrow at 2:30 p.m.
To drive this racetrack, and I always felt like I could make a difference here more than other places, especially after you got through qualifying in the first few laps of the race, because the racetrack changes, the tires fall off, you gotta put the car in the right spot, high, low, when you pass, how do you get through traffic. There's just so many things that go into winning this race, and You know, today is a tough day because you have a short amount of time to get a good read on your car, and you got to run it. You got to run it long enough to get the fall off and understand what you need to do as a driver, and then you got to revert right back into qualifying mode to go run fast for one lap.
All right, let's listen to Ty Gibbs' radio.
It's going to be like for 400 laps, 400 miles, so work and learn, 30, 26, 30 flaps or best right now, clean track. So don't worry about lap time. Work on the maneuverability and technique.
I like that, Clint. I love the fact that they told him not to worry about lap time, because I think if you worry about lap time, you got to worry more about rhythm than you do speed.
100% balance in this race car, and I tell you what, Ty Gibbs has really good balance. I'm already seeing it 10 laps into these runs, and this guy right here, keep an eye on William Byron. This 24 car has that balance, has the speed on the long run. That's what I want to see at Darlington, that long run speed.
Yeah, and I really like the way he went through 3 and 4. I think that's the style that fits his car. Not on the apron right there, back up the hill. As you see the race go on, you'll see him get a little higher on the entry to turn 1 to kind of open that entry up to be a little easier on the tires. Kyle Larson's really good at that. But I like this would be my preferred line if I was driving up the racetrack and then come back down a little bit on the exit.
12 and a half to go. We're almost halfway through this 20-minute session for Group A. Michael McDowell, Ty Gibbs, Chris Buescher are fastest, and Buescher has the fastest 10 consecutive laps so far. Welcome back to Group A practice at Darlington. Eric Jones back in the car, first time in 3 weeks, has not missed a beat. He's in the top third of the fastest lap group. He is 8th on the best consecutive 10 laps and 4th on the best consecutive 15 laps. He has 8 top 10s here, tied for his most at any track, and said, no way was I going to miss Darlington. Here's the Martin Truex, Larry Mack.
Yeah, I've been monitoring some of the data off of Martin Truex Jr. in this 19 car. Right now, he's run 18 laps. He's 10th quickest. But almost since lap 1, compared to William Byron, compared to Michael McDowell, he has been basically almost bottoming the brake pedal out in turns 3 and 4. Getting into turns 3, he's been over 600 pounds of pressure, where I looked at William Byron, and this was kind of comparing lap 12 to lap 12 between the two of them. William Byron was down around 475 pounds, so Truex used a lot of brake getting into turn 3.
Yeah, and that's not abnormal. I would say that